Everyone has heard this story. America bought Manhattan for just $24. But almost everything about that sentence is misleading.
To understand the truth, we have to travel back almost 400 years. Long before New York existed, Manhattan was home to the Lenape people. For the Lenape, land was shared by everyone. Their idea of ownership was very different from Europe's. Then, in the early 1700s, Dutch ships appeared on the horizon, changing Manhattan's history forever. The newcomers weren't looking for a home. They were looking for profit. The Dutch West India Company chose Manhattan because it controlled one of the best natural harbors in North America. In 1626, Governor Peter Minuit met with Lenape leaders to negotiate an agreement. The payment wasn't simply cash. It included practical trade goods that were valuable at the time. The famous $24 story appeared years later. The real history is much more complicated. The original Dutch record never mentioned $24. Instead, it recorded a payment worth 60 Dutch guilders. Years later, historians converted those 60 guilders into 19th century American dollars. That's where the famous $24 figure came from. Modern historians believe the real value was much higher than the famous $24. The Dutch believed they were buying permanent ownership. The Lenape may have understood the agreement very differently. Two cultures, two very different ideas of ownership. That's why historians still debate what really happened on Manhattan in 1626. Soon after the agreement, the Dutch began building a permanent settlement. They called it New Amsterdam. Within just a few years, ships from Europe filled the harbor, turning Manhattan into an important trading center. Beaver fur was one of the most valuable products in the world, and Manhattan became a major trading hub. The settlement grew quickly, attracting families, merchants, and craftsmen from across Europe. But another empire was already looking toward Manhattan, and everything was about to change. By 1664, England wanted New Amsterdam. The colony had become far too valuable to ignore. Then 4 English warships suddenly appeared outside the harbor. Governor Peter Stuyvesant wanted to resist, but many citizens feared the town would be destroyed. The colony surrendered without a major battle, ending Dutch control of Manhattan. The English renamed the colony New York, a name that would soon become famous around the world. Under English rule, New York expanded rapidly. More ships arrived, more merchants settled, and trade exploded. Its deep natural harbor became one of North America's greatest advantages. People from across Europe came searching for opportunity, helping New York grow into a truly international city. Within little more than a century, the small Dutch settlement had become one of the most important cities in colonial America. But Manhattan's greatest transformation was still ahead. The island was about to become one of the most famous places on Earth. As the centuries passed, Manhattan became the financial heart of the United States. Today, companies worth trillions of dollars operate from one of the smallest islands in America. Today, Manhattan has some of the highest real estate prices anywhere in the world. When you know the full story, the famous $24 legend becomes much more complicated. The real story wasn't about getting Manhattan for almost nothing. It was about two cultures with completely different ideas of ownership. Today, historians agree on one thing. The famous $24 story leaves out most of what really happened. That agreement shaped the future of one small island and eventually influenced the history of an entire nation. From forests, to a Dutch colony, to one of the world's greatest cities. So, did America really buy Manhattan for $24?
Not exactly. The real story is far more fascinating than the legend. And that's what makes history worth exploring. Subscribe to Voidtale for more stories hidden inside the maps.
Today, more than 1.5 million people live on Manhattan Island. Every day, millions more travel into Manhattan to work, making it one of the busiest places in America. Some of the world's biggest financial decisions are made right here on this small island. It's incredible to think that everything started with a simple trading agreement centuries ago. And that's why the story of Manhattan remains one of the greatest stories in American history. Most people believe Manhattan was simply bought for $24. The truth is much more complicated. The payment mostly consisted of valuable trade goods, not coins or paper money. Both sides viewed the agreement through completely different cultural traditions. One agreement helped shape centuries of American history. And that's why the $24 story continues to fascinate people all around the world. Today, $24 wouldn't even buy dinner in many parts of Manhattan. Yet many people still believe an entire island was purchased for only $24. Modern historians believe the famous story leaves out many important details. The true value wasn't the trade itself. It was what Manhattan would eventually become. Sometimes the smallest decisions create the biggest moments in history. So, did America really buy Manhattan for just $24? $24? Not exactly. Historians believe the famous number represents the estimated value of trade goods exchanged. History isn't just about numbers. It's about the decisions that change the world. But that agreement helped shape the future of one of the greatest cities on Earth. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Voidtale for more hidden stories behind the world's greatest maps. Thanks for watching.